Hello and welcome, my name is Lynx. Today we continue our journey through other games from Cryoslight. And technically I was supposed to play something else from the same dev, the Alcom CU. But I found out it's really not my territory. Like yaoi, it's not my thing, okay? So, if you are into yaoi, obviously, find yourself the title I'll Come See You by Cryoslight and play it. It's a 10-minute play, apparently, under 100,000 words for O2A2. Go check it out yourself. And what I'm going to play is another game that I set out to play. This one I will play. The Life We've Chosen. And the description says, Willow has been dealing with their inner demons for as long as they can remember, but the real demon in their backyard is still an enigma to them. The Life We've Chosen is a melancholy but hopeful story about a person choosing how to deal with their demons, both inner and external. Even in the darkest depths of loneliness, there may be something worth holding on to. Okay, let us get to it. Warning, warning, warning! Teams like that. Yeah, we'll do. I'm still playing that. Come on. You have to play this stuff. You have to. That way you talk about that. That way other people hear about that and realize this stuff. Come on. I was going to come here today. I'm going to have to work all day tomorrow to make up for my distracted mind. I was going to work inside until nightfall. I'd decided to only do a few hours in the afternoon. It should have been easy enough, but in the end I couldn't even handle that much. Okay. It's just one of those days. It's always one of those days. Just my thoughts begin to wander, the demon appears. They always seem to manifest themselves out of thin air when I'm not looking. I never learn. Their large form is hunched over and wrapped up in a tattered cloak, just like on the day I first became aware of their presence. Though the seasons have changed, the demon has not moved from this spot. They never initiate conversation with me. Instead, it's as if they offer me the choice to leave and pretend we never saw each other at all. I do not leave. Hello again. The only response I get is a sleepy rumble in the back of the throat. Sometimes wonder if my visits annoyed the demon. It doesn't seem like the demon ever has anything else to do, but that doesn't mean I'm not an inconvenience. I remind myself once again that if I was a water, the demon could simply remain hidden from me. It's not like I can force it to show itself. These meetings are its choice too. It's been a full year since our first meeting, hasn't it? The lake's been obscured by the heavy fog once again. That must look nice. I can't miss this case. There is something comforting about it. The demon doesn't respond. It often takes some time to get it to talking, as if it needs a moment to wake up. Or perhaps it's simply taking its time, deciding whether the conversation is worth having in the first place. Are you cold? After a calculated pause, the demon draws a raspy breath. The deep voice reverberates somewhere in the chest, with the untapped potential, but still the sound that comes out of the beak-like mouth is barely louder than a sigh.
The weather does not harm me, human. You'll be wise to redirect your concerns.
I have an extra blanket I could bring you. To be honest, that demon already looks like it's in a blanket, but okay.
No.
I knew there was no point in making the offer, but the demon's predictable answer amuses me regardless. The calm I felt after arriving here didn't last long. The plans I've made for tonight invade my mind out of nowhere. I can't stay long today. My friend is coming to pick me up soon.
The one you've spoken of before, I presume?
You remember? Her name is Ella. I don't know if I told you before.
I have no interest in your names.
Right. Well, I probably wouldn't either. It would be tactless for a human to say such thing, but the demon's bluntness is refreshing in a way. It's good to be blunt. You won't have to memorize my names for my sake. I have very few friends. Same. That's sad. It's really just Ella. And perhaps the demon itself. It feels presumptuous to think of the demon as my friend, but what I don't say out loud won't be known. I'm fairly certain that demon can't read minds. Or maybe it can. Yeah, like, come on. I mean, it's already like the demon is in a blanket. Come on. The demon shifts ever so slightly, adjusting the cloak. I still can't help thinking it must be cold.
Your visits to the place have become more frequent lately.
The observation makes my chest feel tight in a similar way. I mean, familiar way. Have I? A year ago, during the darkest day of fall, I also spent a lot of time down here. I just moved into a small and cheap house up the slope. Where can I find one of those? Alone for the first time in my life. The house was suffocating. I had very few things going on in my life, and yet everything felt like too much to handle. I didn't know what to do with myself without anyone at home to perform happiness for. Really? I would be the other way around. The lakeside felt like the only place I could breathe. Oh, okay, I would feel like that as well. I don't know, man. I mean, I feel like being around family is what does not allow you to breathe. I feel like that, at least. It's happening again, isn't it? An idle glance a demon reveals to me it's waiting for me to elaborate.
I guess I like it here better. Better than your dwelling, you say?
Yeah.
Perhaps you should look into finding a more comfortable home.
Easy for you to say in this market. Come on. I can never tell whether the demon is joking. It's not the building that's the problem. The problem is all the things I need to do there and all the things I need to think about. It's too much sometimes.
What do you mean?
What do you mean by that?
Oh, you see, your kind is still obsessed with arbitrary responsibilities.
You're not wrong. But when I'm here, I feel like I can just exist in peace, I suppose. It's nice. A fallen leaf lands silently in the moss growing from the demon's body. There is a moss on the demon. That's weird? Question mark? I've never once seen demon move. Since our first meeting a year ago, it's never failed to show up when I've come looking for it. Is it really here all the time? My curiosity is great, but the topic is a little too close to home for me to address directly. Do you like it here? Vedian draws a raspy breath before responding with audible exhaustion in the voice.
It does not matter whether I like it here or not. I'm here and that is what I've chosen.
There is a sense of finality in the words that stuns me for a moment. There are many more questions I'd like to ask, but in that moment, I realize I'm late. I'm sorry, I have to go now. I can't make Ella wait.
Do not apologize, human.
Oh, the leaf stayed. Hello. I catch Ella just as she's getting out in my driveway. If I'd left just a moment earlier, I would have had time to go back inside and pretend I'd been there all day, but now it's too late.
Hey, aren't you cold like that? Where's your jacket?
I'm fine. Where's yours?
Hey, don't need one in the car, Dumbo.
Dude, where do you... Where did you find that house? How? I want one like that. Dude, imagine complaining having a house like that. Like, come on. Anyway.
What were you doing in the woods? I was just about to ring your doorbell when I saw you.
I make a panic sound while I try to think of what to say. I forgot to come up with an excuse. I went on a walk. Wow. There is forest around. Of course I'm going on a walk. Come on. Anyway. Yeah, I ran into someone.
Who? A neighbor?
Kind of.
Kind of. Who was it?
I hate state. I hate lying, but I still need more time. When I tell her about the demon, I'll have to do it right way. I feel trouble for lying to her once again, but I just don't have the courage today. You literally could say you went on a walk. And it wouldn't even be a lie. You just keep some information to yourself about that walk. Come on. It was just someone from the area. I know where that person lives. Ella makes the face that tells me a lecture is coming.
Don't you remember what Miss Bailey taught us in the first grade? Don't talk to strangers, especially not in scary places after dark.
We're not children.
No, but you live alone. Who's gonna help you if something happens to you?
She knows I still don't have an answer to her question. Although she's asked it many times, I shrug in defeat.
Well, I'm sure you remember. I've got a spare room at my place if you ever need it.
I mean, considering this house, I would say she has a spare place for you if you wanted it. That's a huge house.
How did you get it? How much was it?
This is going to be my topic right now for the entirety of the game. I want this house. For cheap. How could I forget when she reminds me about it every few months? She seems like a great friend, though. Thanks, but I'm fine.
I just worry about you. You know that.
Ella bites her lip to appear endearing. Although I know it's a trick, I have to admit it kind of works. After making sure I saw her display, Ella puts on a peppy face, seemingly satisfied with having guilt-tripped me out of an arguing back.
Anyway, let's go, shall we? We can't have you running out of canned soup again.
We get in the car. Okay. Sorry about making you do this right after work again.
No. I'm kind of glad. It's good for me to see friends now that thing are over with Elijah.
They are. Ella doesn't even try to hide the bitter disdain in her voice.
Didn't I tell you? He doesn't want to make them move into a crappy little town like this. His words, not mine.
I hadn't realized it was that serious. I feel slow for not having made a connection of my own. A better friend would have seen the signs.
Anyway, it's for the best. If we'd gotten married, we would have been Ella and Elijah forever. Can you imagine? Ella and Elijah? It just sounds so wrong, doesn't it?
I guess? Question mark?
You, on the other hand, have a super rad last name. Maybe we should get hitched. Wink, wink.
Were we still in middle school, I would have blushed at a joke like that. I would have kept thinking about it for weeks, trying to decipher whether there might have been some genuine interest hidden in it. Now, however, we're older. But then you would have to deal with me every day. You don't want that.
Ooh, hey, don't pretend you know everything about me.
That's right. Maybe she meant it. French toast sticks. What? Is that a thing? French toast sticks. What the heck? So what, you get the toast bread and literally cut it in sticks and go like that. That is so weird. I must try it. It became dark outside while we did our shopping. I should go be good for another 2 weeks. I mean, I don't really like French toast, but I like toast. So, anyway. As I'm loading my groceries into the trunk, I catch Ella watching me from the corner of my eye. Then again, maybe the French toasts in general are different, but, you know, peasants like me would just buy the toast bread, right, from the market in packages. And whenever I tried buying the French toast, they have this weird smell. And that's the thing that pushes me away in general. And the fact that smell somehow still lingers while you eat. You can devour that thing and it still lingers. Like, yeah, I don't like that basically. But then again, maybe that's just the peasant in me. Maybe the French toasts are not meant to be like that. Anyway. As I'm loading my groceries into the trunk, I catch Ella watching me from the corner of my eye. What?
Did you know Sally owns the hair salon now? Her boss left and went back to school for a second degree.
So she still has a boss for, right? So it was my neglected hair that caught her attention. Figures. Oh, good for her.
I was thinking we could go see her sometime. You haven't seen her in a while, have you? It'd be fun to just show up randomly in her workplace someday.
Maybe, don't know. Wouldn't that be kind of rude?
What? No, she'd be happy, I'm sure. I bet she gets many customers on her own anyway. Her boss was the good one, you know. Don't tell her I said that. Don't tell her.
Ella looks thoughtful as she locks the car trunk.
Do you think Sally doesn't like you or something?
No, nothing like that. I just thought it would be bad manners for us to show up without warning. Oh my god, yes! 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 I so agree with that. Jesus! Can someone teach that lesson to my parents? Let's show up without informing about that! Oh, for fuck's sake. Thanks for interrupting the day without telling me you will. Not to mention, like, that's long time ago. When I was still like a basically child age. The amount of times we would go to my grandparents without informing them and it would turn out they are not home was too damn high. It's not that hard to make a phone call. Hey, can we visit today? No. Anyway. No, I agree. You should inform about visiting. Well, in this case, well, she's at work. If you want your hair done, then maybe you don't have to really. But technically, you should also schedule a visit, basically. Then again, you can go to schedule a visit as well, right? But dude, if you are visiting someone, for the love of everything, please inform. Don't show up unannounced. Anyway. Desperate for a change of topic, I glance at the locked trunk, pretending to have remembered something. I literally have only one person that I would not be, like, pissed off if that person showed up without, you know, telling me earlier, but yeah. Anyway. Oh, I was going to get garbage bags, you know.
We can go back.
No, I'll get them some other time. I have 1 or 2 left.
I don't know if I can drive you next week. Will you really be fine?
I mean, She can use the shopping bag, I guess, right? I have a bike.
Ooh. A bike you hate using.
How dare you, girl? I don't hate it, I just haven't had the reason to use it lately, thanks to you. I try to give Ella an appreciative smile, which probably comes across as forced, but she accepts it gracefully anyway.
You're welcome.
Bikes are great. The moment I get home, thoughts about tomorrow invade my mind. I have nothing to distract myself from the dread of having a full work day ahead of me. What are you doing for work there? Normally on an evening like this I would escape to the lake, but even I would feel embarrassed doing so twice in one day. Perhaps I still have some dignity left. I don't. I make videos, I have no dignity. I end up going to bed too early. Ooh! Nice. Nice little trail. I wonder if it's always foggy there. I practically ran out the door when the email arrived. Something about my performance, low words per hour rating. I'll never be good enough, will I? I tried my best this week. After that one day when I couldn't handle anything. This was supposed to be an easy side job anyone could do. What do you mean? Are you writing or... what exactly are you doing? I wonder. When I felt like I almost want to cry, but I managed to calm myself with deep breath. One thing at a time. Today everything is still alright. I tell myself, today I'm not falling apart. I won't think about it today. I won't. You already do. I keep thinking that the demon is inside of her head. That it's not actually like... you know, demon that exists. And I don't know, maybe in her head it takes physical form because of all the supposed problems she has. Anyway, I address the demon beside me. There is something else on my mind. An idea had begun forming a few days now. An idea that could take a lot of pressure off of me. Okay. Can I bring Ella to meet you? Only after I've asked the question to realize I'm not sure if I even greeted the demon properly today. My obsession with the idea may have overridden my manners. I feel like the demon wouldn't care anyway. Luckily, the demon isn't concerned about manners anyway. The response is a sleepy, uninterested tone.
It is your life and your choice, human. You do not need my permission.
I would still like to have it. This is your home. There's a long pause, longer than usual, when the demon finally speaks with reluctance.
I do not presume to know how your friend will react to meeting one of my kind. However, in my experience, these events rarely end well. This path could lead you to much suffering.
Perhaps it will, but that's not what I asked. Do I have your permission or not?
The demon sighs submissively. You do.
Alright then, I'll bring her sometime soon. Thank you for looking out for me. Judging by the surprised reaction, the demon isn't used to being thanked. I should try saying nice things more often. In order for Ella to react well, I'll need a plan of some sort. How do I introduce a demon to someone who has never met one and probably doesn't believe they exist? Oh, by the way, you haven't told me your name.
I have no name.
There's a subtle tightness in the demon's voice. Just noticeable enough to tell me I shouldn't push the issue. Name the demon? Or would it be a bad idea? I'm just thinking about how I'm going to introduce you to Ella. And maybe it's unnecessary, but some kind of descriptor would be good to have, I think.
You will figure it out.
You're useless! The lack of reaction immediately makes me regret what I just said. I'm sorry, that was a joke. Hehe.
Humor is not new to me. It has changed very little since its conception.
It was still a bad joke, you know. Wait. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't good. Yeah. It wasn't. Also, it definitely wasn't a joke. You just kind of said it. It was supposedly a joke, you know, kind of to protect yourself, I guess. Anyway, the demon doesn't seem offended. I make a mental note to watch my mouth regardless. This isn't Ella I'm talking to. When did I start making the same jokes as her anyway? I've never even liked that kind of humor. She likes to make friendly jabs, but a jab is still a jab. She wasn't like that when we were young, though. I closed my eyes for a bit. Now that I've told the demon about my plan, I feel both relieved and anxious. I was hoping relief would be the frontmost feeling, but it isn't. A cold breeze from the lake causes a shiver to run down my entire body.
Go! Return to your dwelling. Nights like this are not meant for humans.
I don't want to. This is all going to change. Next time we meet, this will all be different. I'm a little scared for.
What of?
I know what Ella is going to think of this. Of you.
And the demon's like, well, I personally couldn't care less what she thinks.
I will not be surprised if that would be the answer from the demon.
Already? You are having second thoughts?
No, I'm not. I've made my decision. I'm not going to keep hiding you from her as if you're something shameful.
It is a matter of honesty then.
Yes, but it's not just that. I lose my nerve before I can articulate the difficult thought in my head. I can feel the demon's watchful eyes on me. Where do they get the patience to always wait for me to sort out my thoughts? It's hard to imagine Ella or anyone else being that interested in what I have to say. Perhaps that's exactly that. I've been thinking, and for a long time it's been like Ella and I don't really see each other. We talk often, but I feel as she doesn't really hear me. I don't think she really knows me at all. I want her to understand me better. I want her to know what's really going on.
What is going on?
The question hits me hard. It shouldn't have. It was just a question. But I forget to breathe for a moment. What is going on with me?
I don't know. I need her. I need to confess something to you.
Oh, wait, there are choices? Uh-oh. I didn't know that. I think I'm gonna go with I need to confess something to you. Let's go with that. Pooh. And where this will lead. I said that, although I'm not sure how to word my confession. The demon sits still as ever, but there is something off about them. Looking in the eyes, I see an emotion I can't quite name, but I can't help thinking it looks a lot like sorrow. Why? I'm sorry, should I not? The demon breathes in, seemingly deeper than usual.
It is not that I don't wish to hear what you have to say. It is the timing that is precarious. There are enough variables in the air as it is. I fear having this conversation now would only complicate things.
It seems they understood my meaning, although I'm not entirely sure what I was going to say myself. Understand. Another time then, yeah.
Another time.
We fall back into the shared silence. Although we both know there is something in it we are both ignoring. It feels odd, but I trust the demon's judgment better than I trust my own. Although the night is still young, a wave of drowsiness sweeps over me. I could almost fall asleep standing up. The demon's silent presence is an immense source of comfort. It would be so easy to lie down and sleep right here, knowing they'd be watching over me. It's a selfish desire, and although I'm not bold enough to act on it, the thought brings me solace. A gentle nudge on my left shoulder. It wasn't warm or cold. It's as if it wasn't there at all, but I know I felt it. I look up, a little embarrassed, and the demon returns my gaze with the same hard-to-read eyes as always. The voice, however, is soft.
Return to your dwelling, please.
Although I prefer to cling to this moment a little longer, I can't deny the appeal of the recommendation. As I gather up willpower to get moving, I realize my joints age from the cold. The demon's common sense proves to be better than mine, once again. I don't know what to say after all.
See you soon.
I slept and dreamed of ominous but strangely comforting scenarios that night, all about failure. Reality couldn't possibly be worse. Once morning came, I was not afraid. Having made the decision earlier, the action came easier than I thought it would. When Ella arrived on my driveway, I simply asked her if she'd like to meet the neighbor I mentioned before. I tried to make the invitation as quick and casual as I could so that I wouldn't have time to talk myself out of it. Ella was clearly reluctant, but she agreed. I was hoping I would suddenly gain enough courage to try and explain the situation to Ella, but it didn't happen. I still find myself avoiding questions, I'm afraid. The only way I can be honest with her is by taking her to see the demon with her own eyes. Ella stays close to me on the path to the lake.
This is getting really creepy. Why can't we meet that person at your house?
We're almost there. During this short walk, I must have told Ella not to worry a dozen times already. We begin the descent down the lake. The demon is there waiting for us. As they promised, they must have sensed the approach. I turn to Ella.
Whoa, what is that? Some kind of...
Then it hits her that what she's seeing is not a statue, but a living being. Her face contorts with shock and then horror. I've got to calm her down. I speak up using the most soulful tone I can master. Come on, let's go talk. She doesn't respond or move. It's as if she's frozen in place. My words don't seem to reach her at all. Without warning, she grabs my hand and suddenly I'm being dragged back up the hill. Ella, wait, there is nothing to... I trip on something and nearly fall over, only kept up by Ella's stubborn grip on my hand.
Harry!
Stop, Ella, let go of me! She doesn't stop until we arrive at the car, panting and frazzled. My shoulder is in pain from getting yanked around so violently. I'm so angry and humiliated I can feel the stink of tears behind my eyes. Alright, so there is a demon. If she could see that demon, it's, I guess, not the project of our protagonist's mind. My shoulder is in pain from getting yanked around so violently. I'm so angry and humiliated I can feel the stink of tears behind my eyes. Why couldn't you just stop for 2 seconds? Ella ignores me. For a minute we just lean against the car and catch our breath. Eventually she speaks up with a stern tone.
You can't stay in this house. Come live with me.
This again. Now. You're joking, right?
I'm serious. Let's get out of this house. Please, you have to get out.
She's overreacting. This is even worse than I thought possible.
I don't want to lose you.
I mean, I'm not going anywhere. I've never seen her so desperate before. Her voice is strained with concern for me.
You don't know that it's a demon. You don't know what it can do.
The demon would never hurt me. How can she even suggest they would? I trust the demon. They've been more honest than either of us, actually.
Hey, it's a demon! What do you think demons do? They trick and seduce people and all of that.
Oh, since when have you even cared about stories like that? You decided to start caring just now? She breathes heavily. I realize I'm doing the same. How did it come to this? We've never fought before. Not like this. With every breath I regret this night more and more. I've ruined everything. Kind of.
It is manipulating you.
I don't think so.
That's really nice, but how can you know? How do you know it's not going to hurt you?
Yeah. I mean, you can say the same thing about you, in a way. I guess I don't. I can't bring myself to acknowledge it out loud. For all the deep conversations we've had, I barely know anything about the demon. Suddenly there are tears in Ella's eyes. Despite everything, it pains me to see her upset. I almost can't stand looking at her.
I don't want to lose you.
I want to reassure her somehow, but I already know nothing I say will help. She's not going to understand what the demon means to me. I try to blink back the tears, but it's useless. This is all useless. Ella. She's very close. My heart begins pounding again, but the catalyst is not fury this time. We've never been this close before. Ella's hands reach for my shoulders. When was the last time she touched me? Oh, on the school playground when we were 10? This was different. This can be. No, she wouldn't, would she? There is no way. She's not interested in me, right? She's never returned my feelings. Wait, what? You have feelings for her? Wait, my feelings? I don't know what I feel anymore. It's all messed up. I'm so tired of trying to make sense of all of this. Maybe if I just let that guide me. Sounds... Why would you want someone else to... I mean, I personally would say no. I would never want anyone else to... like, basically lead my life or anything like that. But considering the state she's in... Let's go, yes. I close my eyes and trust myself to Ella for a moment. She knows what to do. I feel her warm breath before the lips touch mine. Is this how it's supposed to feel? It's definitely not the perfect magical kiss they describe in stories. But stories are just stories. No real kiss measure up to them anyway. I still don't understand what's going on, but this... it doesn't feel wrong. When Ella ends the kiss, it turns out I wish it had been longer. There is a moment of silent contemplation between us. I realize I barely did anything to contribute to the kiss. For Ella, it must have felt like kissing a dead body. Ew. What about the demon? Ella shakes her head as if to shush me.
I'll help you get through this. You'll forget about all this weird stuff soon enough.
What are you saying? Her stare is as cold as steel.
Promise me you won't talk to it anymore.
I think I knew it was coming, but that bold ultimatum still gives me a pause. She's really making me choose. Why does it have to be so dramatic? I know why. If I hadn't shown her the demon, this wouldn't have happened. This is my own fault. If I hadn't done what I did, I could have stayed close with both Ella and the demon, but now it's too late. She won't be happy unless I leave my time with the demon behind. Huh. Alright, I trust you. Let's go with that for now. I've never really given her a chance. She's always trying to help me out, but I've kept rejecting her advice for years. Maybe I should have just listened to her from the start.
I'm so glad.
I still don't know how to feel. This is all happening too fast for me to understand. But at the same time, it feels as if this is how it's supposed to go. I've never believed in the saying, love conquers all. But maybe if I give it a chance. Maybe I'm finally strong enough. Maybe I've always had it in me. And I just didn't know until now. Ella lets out a relieved laugh.
Wow, after all these years, huh?
Everything is going to change. I knew it would, but not like this. Okay. It's been 3 years now. Damn! It's been 3 years and she still comes home every day wearing the same smile she's always had. Likewise, I'm the same I've always been. Is this really what she wanted? This quiet life with me? I have nothing to offer her and I doubt I ever will. I'm not built for this. She'll grow tired of this someday. It's just a matter of time. I hope I'm mentally prepared for the day when it comes. I mean, the fact that you're thinking it's going to fail is already a bad approach. Sometimes when Ella's staying at her parents' house, I get on my bike and head down to the lake like I used to, even if I know the demon is not there. They left me. Understand why. I had them first. I didn't visit them for months after I moved in with Ella. They must have thought I'd left for good. Still, I keep hoping someday they'll return to this place. Guild knows at me every time I sneak off to go to the lake. I still can't be honest with Ella. All she's ever asked me was for me to forget about Demon, but I'm not strong enough to even do that much. I keep breaking my promise to her over and over again. I call for Venom, but they do not come. I've tried apologizing. I've tried sitting in silence as we often did. I've even cried. I tried everything. If there is any chance they'll come see me again, I'll keep doing this. Even when I'm old someday, I'll keep coming here as long as my aging body allows. I still haven't learned anything, have I? And one. Okay. Well, sometimes I would just go and jump and end the video, but I want to check out the other two endings. No, I won't leave them! What? They've become very important to me. I'm not going to abandon them now. The demon.
Can't you see you're being manipulated?
Can you stop pretending you know anything about that demon? You didn't even give that demon a chance.
I can't.
She opens and closes her mouth before sighing in frustration.
This is just so crazy.
I'm crazy, she means. Even after seeing the demon with her own eyes, she still thinks I'm crazy and useless and broken. I mean, you are also technically thinking that yourself. Just saying.
I think I'm gonna go home.
Good. I respond without thinking, but I don't regret it despite Ella's hurt expression. I want her to leave. She waits a few seconds too long before getting in the car. I bet she wants me to beg her to stay. I won't give her the satisfaction. I'm never going to ask her for anything anymore. Ah, that's just sad. I already know I'm going to stay angry for a long while, but I've got to calm down. You might be fine with that. And by that I mean the demon. But if someone else sees a demon, I mean... I feel like the first reaction you have is to, like, run as fast as possible, as far away as possible. Anyway, I already know I'm going to stay angry for a long while, but I've got to calm down. I take deep breaths, trying to focus on the comforting scent of the forest. It's over for tonight. I'll send Ella a text tomorrow or something. Or maybe I won't. Why should I? She was really saying weird things, and I don't even know what that kiss was about. I don't want to know. Why now? I don't want to think about what happened, but I do anyway. My mind replays the events over and over. First a kiss, and then she tells me to give up on one thing that makes me happy. How can she claim to care for me and then make a demand like that? Right. I'm more hurt on the demon's behalf than for my own sake. Ella didn't even give a chance. By the time I have the thought to go and apologize to the demon, my feet have already taken me halfway down the path through the forest. I arrive at the lake to find the demon there, just the way it was there earlier. I woke up slowly, suddenly unsure of what I want to say. I give a bashful glance, but it's difficult to look in the eye. I end up speaking to the lake rather than directly to the demon. I'm sorry. The demon is clearly exhausted. I am too. For a moment, we just exist in silence, separately but together. The lake looks the same as ever. The night's events have left me weary, but at least I still have this. Is your relationship with the red-haired one mended? Nah, she said some things that hurt me a lot. I'm finding I don't really want to talk about it. I didn't come here to lament the loss of a friendship that has been causing me more stress than joy for years. I'm sorry to hear that. It's not their fault. I think this would have happened sooner or later regardless. I'll grieve later. To be honest, I feel better.
I was under the impression she was a beloved friend of yours.
I thought so too, but it seems that was my biggest mistake. I think it will be I'll be better off without her. That's just sad. Thinking. The familiar lakeside and the demon's presence have calmed down my nerves. In a mere minutes, I can breathe again. The pale grey lake ripples softly. Ella has no place here. I should have known she wouldn't understand. It's just the demon die, and I'm at peace with that. Suddenly something changes though. The ground beneath my feet shifts just a little, or perhaps the entire forest does. The demon is moving. Okay, they stand up slowly. Every ancient bone in the body snapping to their wrathful plates one by one to make the motion possible. The terrifying sound echoes through the forest. Somehow the demon doesn't seem to be in pain. The face looks the same as ever. They must have done this before. Repairing the broken body seems to be only a matter of will to them. The little twigs and leaves that once rested on the stationary form have fallen off, and there are even feathers? The demon's cloak falls off the shoulders, revealing the torn remains of a pair of wings. Countless dark feathers flutter to the ground, twisted and lifeless. There is something viscerally familiar about this sight that makes me nearly tear up. On the spot, I understand, I would say, if I could bring myself to speak. Even while standing on 2 feet, the demon still appears hunched over. They look terribly old, weighed down by millennia of pain and indifference. I feel an overwhelming desire to take their hand and steady them like one would do for a frail grandmother, but I know I am far too small to support them.
Is it time then?
The voice is distant. I never realized just how softly they speak. Time for what?
My departure.
What? I feel as if I've swallowed an icicle. They're thinking of leaving? But this is your home, isn't it?
It has been for a time. Do not feel sad. I will find another.
Why now? The demon avoids eye contact with me. They speak once again in that calculated tone that leaves me feeling disconnected.
When a human and temporary being desires to grow, it is only right that my kind make room for them. I'll move for you, if that is what you desire.
I didn't ask for this. They didn't have to do this for me. I never asked them for anything. But regardless, I've become a burden again. I never said I want you to leave. As if caught off guard by my broken voice. The demon looks at me for a brief moment. Can't seem to hold eye contact. For us, it speaks with a wavering tone.
You've lost something dear to you tonight. Whether you admit it or not, this occurred because of me.
So what if I did? It was all my fault too, and hers. Especially hers. My joke clenches painfully. It's her fault that demon feels guilty.
You will surely begin forging new relationships soon enough. When you do, it is for the best that I'm not in your way.
I don't want to believe their words, but the demon seemed convinced. You really believe this is the right thing to do?
Humans' lives are short. They are better spent with your own kind, not with old relics such as I. Don't you agree?
Is this really how it's supposed to go? It doesn't feel right, but the demon does have an infinite amount of experience in this subject. It was right to warn me about introducing Ella to them. As well, I know nothing compared to them. The demon regards me with a soft gaze.
Let us close this chapter.
But if you think... Alright, if you think it's for the best... A tangible sadness hangs in the air. There are things on my mind I've been wanting to tell the demon. Things I won't be able to say when they've gone. I should make the departure as painless as possible, but... Before you go... I speak up against my better judgment, emboldened by the finality of this moment. I know what I'm about to say will only make me saying goodbye more painful, but I must say it. I breathe in the fog's melancholy scent. willing myself not to get emotional. I just need to say the words. The last thing there is left to say. Ooh, I love you. Time freezes as if I'd said nothing at all. The demon's eyes are unreadable, more so than before. I wonder if confessing to them was close to me, but what's done is done. Slowly they avert the gaze. When they speak, their voice is restrained by 1,000 emotions. For the demon's sake, I pray none of them are like mine.
If that is so, then I will not make this any more difficult for you.
They face the lake without looking back. I close my eyes and the demon takes a step forward on the dry grass. Live!
Live well, human.
I open my eyes to find them flooded with emotion. The lake ripples like always, blind to a tragedy that just occurred. I raise my head, knowing I won't see the demon beside me anymore. Even their torn feathers on the ground have vanished. The soothing sound of the voice, their changing comforting presence, all gone. I'm crying after all! For a moment I really thought I was going to make it without crying. I almost made it. Almost. And two. And so, now, it is time to get the number 3. I'd like you to stay! The demon doesn't say anything. They won't even look at me, but their held breath doesn't go unnoticed by me. I know that the demon heard me. I speak up with more confidence this time. If you want to leave me for your own reasons, I won't stop you. But I want you to know I'd miss you terribly. I'd rather you stayed.
My departure would make your life easier, would it not? It is difficult to exist in 2 worlds simultaneously. You've expressed this sentiment yourself before.
Yes, but I don't just want an easy life. There are other things that are just as important. I just didn't know what to look for, or what I even wanted. I would like easy life. Can I have easy life? How do I switch to easy life difficulty? I think I found someone worth hanging on to in you. You become a part of my life. A part I really, really treasure. The demon gazes at the grey sky with empty eyes. Even nature itself is silent with tension. As if in slow motion, the demon collapses on their knees. Before I know it, I've rushed to the side. You alright? They refuse to eat my eyes. This close, I can feel their cold, scentless breath all around me. The demon gathers their strength for a short moment before speaking in a sorrowful tone.
I've been lying to you, human. I've presented to you an indifferent facade, but the truth is I am afraid. For centuries, I've confined myself to this small corner of the planet, where I thought pain would not find me, but I've come to realize yet again that there is no escape from it. Were I to leave now, my core would still age each time cross my mind. You've left your mark. You'll become another human in my memories whose life I made worse. Another human I made suffer. Another life I ruined.
But you haven't ruined anything. I tried off after the demon wasn't done speaking.
And if I stay, someday far too soon, I will lose you regardless.
I think I knew. It hurts to be an undying entity on Earth surrounded by beings who can never stay with you for long. I knew, but I've put them in the exact position they were trying to escape. I'm sorry. If I understood sooner, I wouldn't have pushed my companion to you. I'm sorry for that.
The blame is entirely mine, human.
You regret it, the time we've shared. The demon shakes the head subtly.
No. Every moment we've shared has made my existence a less lonely one. If only for a short time, I could never regret any of this.
If you don't regret it, then isn't it worth it?
Perhaps for me it is. However, your life is limited. By spending it with me, you will miss out on so much.
Is that so? I don't want to miss out on you. I know it now. This isn't wrong. It never was. I thought it had to be wrong because that's what everyone says, but I've come to realize I was just scared, as I always am. I wish I'd seen the truth sooner. I know how long I'll live, but I want to make the most of it, and I think the best version of me, of my life, includes you. A mournful sound makes its way out to the demon's throat, but they cannot bring themselves to speak. My own voice shakes as well. I can't promise I'll live very long, but I can promise I'll try. I'll try my best and I'll take the damn good care of myself so that we have so much time together as possible. The demon breaks into silent sobs. Air reverberates in their ribcage with every broken breath. I can only watch them as warm tears stream down my own face. There is no question, however, my heart still says this is worth it. I speak although my voice is thick with emotion. If I promise you that, will you stay with me? A rattling breath flows through the demon's lungs as they collect themselves.
Yes, I will stay, human.
Call me Willow.
Willow. You may call me Haze.
So you had a name in the end, you punk. Somehow we formed a habit of watching the sunset together every night, regardless of season or weather. You'd think the routine would get old after a while, but it turns out every sunset is different from any other. Every quiet conversation we share in those moments is likewise unique. Oh, that's nice. A gentle gust of wind ruffles the demon's feathers, but they don't seem to mind. Maybe it's pleasant to be out of the forest every once in a while. It is for me. This one's nice, isn't it?
I've seen better.
That's not fair, of course you have. Haze looks down at me with a soft but melancholy look in the eyes.
I regret you won't be able to see the full range of beauty this planet has to offer. You would enjoy those sights more than I will.
I sense the immense sadness behind the words, but I won't let them dwell on it on an evening like this. Haven't you heard? Beauty is subjective. If I say this is the most beautiful sunset ever in the history of Earth, you can't prove me wrong. Haze almost chuckles. One day I'll get to hear what their laugh sounds like.
Perhaps this is the most beautiful one then.
It's an odd feeling, knowing Haze might be here watching these same sunsets 1,000 years after my own existence has ended. With another person. I'll likely never fully comprehend what it's like to live for an eternity. Yeah, that must be horrendously bad. I'm just human. After all, Haze has never asked me to be anything more. I put extra effort into my smile. Haze, when I'm gone, watch the rest with someone else, alright? Haze doesn't respond.
I'll miss you.
Their eyes say. I know, but this year a feeling has been growing inside me. It's a confident and non-apologetic feeling. There is one thing I'm sure of. One thing that keeps me from succumbing to the hopelessness I used to center my life around. You know, there are people out there who will love you even if you don't. I don't know if Haze believes me just yet, but as the sun begins to sink below the horizon, I'm certain they will. I'll make sure of it.
I'm glad you asked me to stay.
I can only smile. There is nothing else I need to hear. We still have more sunsets left than I can count. Yeah, that's the best ending. End 3. Technically, the best of the best endings, I think, would be if we were able to convince technically her childhood friend to give a chance to the demon as well.
Thank you for the moments we've shared. Take care now, human.
I think that was addressed towards me. That was nice. Initially, I thought like the demon was literally the creation of her own mind, and her friend would not be able to see the demon at all. But it turns out it's there. It was absolutely there. What do we have? Content warnings, mental illness, depression. Yeah, it was definitely there. Discussion of death. Okay, but not ending yourself. I mean, I guess there was the time that this one will live forever, this one won't, but I don't know. I don't think that's something you need to warn about. Brief reference to past self-harm. I'll be honest, I don't know where it was. Yeah, I don't know where that was. Unhealthy relationships plus possibly unwanted romantic advances. Okay, so that must refer to the friend, I guess. But at the same time, technically, our protagonist was like, she had feelings that were unresponded and then they were responded, sort of. So it's like, was this really unwanted? I don't know. Maybe in a way. A little toxic, maybe, between those two. Dude, I like this music in the background now. Like, it's not getting in the way, just... It's that kind of relaxing music, I would say. Like, I could just sit there, and by that I mean where I am right now. I could just sit, go back in the chair, relax, and just listen to that new little tune. Anyway, ghosts, I don't want to hold you any longer, I guess, over here, as we finish with the story. As always, link to it in the description. Considering I did all the endings, I mean, go at least give the game a rating. And maybe check out other games from this dev. As I said, I skipped one of the games because, well, yaoi is definitely not my thing. To be fair, now after looking at stuff over here, it's also some of the stuff that's, you know what, this was kinda on a Halloween Spooktuber as well. Yeah, okay, it checks out. I should stop talking. Anyway, let's end it for today. As always, if you enjoyed, consider liking the video. If you're new around, consider subscribing. And I wish you an absolutely fantastic day. Bye-bye.